man is guilty that his love had rejected his true feelings. Okay, but the caption said the word assault, so I'm kinda sus. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/niceguys, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and help the channel get to 50,000 subs, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and start up them wholesome internet conversations. And lastly, if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications. Alright, let's go. The dark side of attraction. Nice is not a turn on. Why a-holes get girls and you don't? You know, whenever I see like something like this, it honestly reminds me of those videos that say that help you build your YouTube channel, but at the same time you keep on asking, why isn't your channel successful? Well, we can see she started off loyal to a hard-working man, only to go back to a man that can't hold a job and will treat her badly unless he's getting his noodle wet. r/niceguys. And the real sad but funny part is when people get sent this kind of stuff and people call them out on r/niceguys, the lovely person doesn't seem to understand what r/niceguys is. Gotta love somebody with the mental capacity and processing of a Commodore 64. So what about 5 feet 8 or 9 inches? Girls are too picky until they're all used and abused. Usually, I had an English teacher admit this to the whole class, that she was super shallow till her 30s, and wishes she didn't do that, cause now she hasn't found a good guy and was nearing 40s. Well, it happens in some cases. For other girls whom people find more attractive, those girls, they land a tall guy and get lucky enough, I suppose, so they don't realize their shallow ways. Oh well, the double standards are real though. Girls want to be treated better than they do for you, usually from my experiences. I know guys have our shallow things too, but I've never said, oh no, she's too short or too tall as a person. So let me get this straight, you're taking the small group of people that actually take somebody's height as some kind of defining factor of whether or not they would want to talk to them, and then using that small portion to set a standard for the entire demographic, right? Please do correct me if I'm wrong here. Looking for a girl who can answer me this question. Why is it that girls say they want a nice guy, but when a nice guy tries talking to a girl, they ignore him and instead talk to a bad guy who ends up hurting them? I watch Riverdale and Pretty Little Liars. Maybe you're getting an actual nice person mixed up with quote-unquote nice guys like yourself. You know, the good old confusion of, hey, let me get this door for you since, you know, I'm just a good person, versus, hey, let me get the door for you, okay, now suck me off. You know, just, there's a little bit of a difference there. I guess I have a weird way of being in a relationship. I believe if I'm dating a girl, you are mine and only mine. That would mean you don't secretly go hang with other dudes, have S, or text. I'm all about having friends, but isn't there line of respect for your significant other? I feel like dating world is confusing and pointless now. Someone please prove me wrong. But we are the bad guys every effing time. Here's the thing, one of the main things for a healthy relationship to work is not feeling like you have to cut off every single person you talk to in order to be with that one person, because the whole mine and only mine thing is a horrible mindset. It's like they're a pet dog or something. Like, it kind of just takes away from the whole being legitimately loyal, faithful to each other, and not actually going around cheating on anybody. And seriously, the whole part of, I'm all about having friends, but isn't there a line of respect for your significant other? Yes, there should be. But being a control freak and not wanting the person to hang out with people just because you're afraid that they're going to cheat on you with them is not healthy. And at the same time, if you're dating somebody who's going around cheating, like, seriously, dump them. If they're going against some set of rules that you set up at the beginning of the relationship, then that's not good. Just to clarify, a man is a himbo if he's hot and simple in a way that makes him nice. Nice to strangers, nice to kids, nice to dogs, nice to women that he isn't attracted to. Niceness is a very key factor. I just want to make this sure everyone understands this. Tell that to the women I know who dumped their nice boyfriends and went on to marry bad boys. Turns out bad boys make for bad husbands. So no, not everyone understands this. Didn't the top part just literally describe genuine human beings though? Like seriously, just this whole thing was just saying be nice to everybody and just nothing in return. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what a himbo is, and honestly I forgot that word existed. Then you know what, I guess that makes me one, because honestly I guess if I'm nice to a dog, that makes me a himbo. Ladies, if you aren't interesting in chatting with a guy and getting to know him after you accept his Facebook friend request, then don't accept the friend request. It's likely coming from the same dude that hits the send request again after it's denied and wondering what happened. I hate when I see a girl who looks interesting and like the kind of person I'd like to be friends with. I send her a friend request, she accepts, and then ignores all of my attempts to get to know her. I guess that I'm just so attractive, modest, and entertaining that girls want to be connected to me without knowing me. Ignoring guys who send or ask for inappropriate pictures is understandable, but ignoring a hero like me for genuinely wanting to get to know you is just piss-poor social etiquette, and is about as classy as S-ing in the street. Hey, dingbat, you ever come to realize maybe they accepted your friend request because you're persistent, and I don't know, call them people who poop in the street? Because God forbid, we all know you can't take the word no for an answer. What are you guys going to give the men the dignity they deserve? I understand that there are some bad ones out there, but there are also good ones. I have yet to see any positive comments about the male gender here. That makes me wonder, can we have an intellectual conversation without me getting insulted or being discriminated because of my race or gender by you fine folks? Okay, dude, the comment said that this was in one of those Facebook tag groups and you're asking them to be civil?
You serious?
Long story short, I am what they call hyper-masculine. I like guns, I like fighting, and have an abnormally high tolerance, conflict, and violence. I have always been fascinated with very masculine archetypes. Soldier, gangster, ruthless businessman, head-cracking athlete. The only thing that mellowed me out for a very long time was weed, but after being a chronic user for about a decade, I have had to stop recently for a job interview, and it has thrown me so far out of whack that I almost got into a big car accident today. I'm very successful for my age, and make a lot of money, and what most would consider good looking, but most women stay clear of me. I can tell a lot of women, especially in today's era where masculinity is frowned upon, stay clear of me, and it seems my energy throws them off / makes them uncomfortable. I seem to attract superficial relationships mainly, and the few relationships I've resonated with on a deep level have been with hyper-feminine women, which haven't ever ended well. I believe TPTB are making men more feminine, as they are less likely to fight back / easier to control when they lack masculinity. I, for a long time, wore my hyper-masculine archetype as a badge of honor, as someone who would fight back against their system, and not be someone they could control so easily. With that being said, it seems as time goes on, women want less and less to do with me. It is becoming very frustrating and lonely, and I can't take much more of it. Oh darn, this will be a tough one to figure out why. I should note, I've never been physical or violent ever with a woman in my life, but will admit I had an issue for a while with launching some pretty nasty psychic attacks against women I feel like wronged me in big ways. This was before awakening and knowing what psychic attacks were, to be fair, but I also know it still causes damage even if you don't know it is. Anything that would help meditation practices, etc. would be much appreciated. This was a rough read, OP. Looking at your comments was even more rough. 1. Masculinity is not seen as a bad thing. You're confusing masculinity with toxic masculinity. 2. To say that Western women know nothing of ever-present danger is so laughable I almost want to call you a troll. 3. In order to heal and integrate feminine energy, you've got to be open to it first. By your comments, I can see that you're very opposed to integrating feminine energy when it doesn't fit with what you want/believe. 4. I'm not sure this is the place to ask this. Like another commenter said, your motivations aren't pure. They're so you can get girls to like you by what you've wrote. 5. What is your actual goal here? Do you want to integrate feminine energy to make your life better so you can have a better relationships with the people in your life? Or is it really just to get girls to like you? If it's the former, then I recommend doing YouTube meditations focused on it and shadow work with questions like, what does masculinity mean to me? What does femininity mean to me? How can these work together internally for me? Etc. But if your only motivation is, I want girls to like me, you're going to get bored and try to cheat at it. 1. Toxic masculinity, by and large, is a weaponized term propagated by TPTB in order to feminize men and make them easier to control. It's like calling someone a racist or fascist. How most people use it doesn't really represent actual toxic masculinity behavior. It's lost its meaning. 2. Western women are extremely comfortable and don't really have a clue what real violence is by and large. That's not to say there aren't women in the West who do, because there absolutely is. But the majority have never come close to experiencing any real danger in their lives. 3. Fair enough. I have spent a lot of time in toxic environments, past lives included. I have experienced toxic femininity more than most people, so it's something I'm having a little trouble with. 4. Who are you to determine if my motivations aren't pure or not? You honestly think if my motivations weren't pure, I would waste my time on this forum? Dark arts manipulation are a pretty effective way to get what you want, but I have learned that's not a good long-term strategy spiritually. 5. My goal is to understand and grow, which is pretty difficult to do when people question your motives and make judgments off their own limited perceptions on what is right and what is wrong. Part of the toxic femininity is women thinking they can say whatever they want, no matter how rude, and if someone dishes it back to them, they play victim card and cry toxic masculinity. So, toxic femininity is me reading the words you wrote and telling you what I read? If your main motivations is in fact to learn and grow, I'm here to give you this big reality check. Personal growth, more often than not, comes from places we don't want: conflict, turmoil, and pain. So, if me questioning your motivation makes it difficult to grow, then I don't understand how you're going to get through this all. Please let me know what I said that was rude, if by rude you actually mean offensive and not an opinion that you simply don't like. LOL, the F do you know about personal growth? You can't begin to fathom the things I've had to deal with since awakening, and even before awakening. My life the past 4 years has been conflict, turmoil, and pain. Judging by your other post, you sound like a whiny bee, exactly what I'm talking about in Western women, and don't seem to have the balance thing down or understand men at all, so advice from you doesn't seem very fitting. LOL. An open heart that allows others to try their best to hurt you instead of defending yourself? That is badass. That is balanced masculine. I agree with you. When masculine-oriented men, people fall too much into the feminine, they can become wimps and unsatisfied with their life. I'm currently reading The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. It's effing incredible and just what I need right now. think you showing up at the right time. Thank you for this. It's effing brave, and it's what the world needs. Thank you for your insight. It just seems to me personally that the toxic behavior that was acceptable back in the day for men, think your stereotypical 1950s man who beats his wife and doesn't let her leave the kitchen, has almost been reversed with modern Western women. Femininity has to a certain extent been weaponized in Western society to the point where it's not really equal anymore. My personality fits a time period where there was more danger present in day-to-day lives. Western women and men have gotten to a point where by and large they are so far removed from the violence they think it doesn't happen or can't ever happen to them. This is good in certain regards, but it has created a warped interpretation on how the world really works. And with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see another video like this one here today in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and lastly, if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.